Yes, guys, make sure you're following us on Apple Podcast and Spotify and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It massively helps us out. Enjoy. Ted, thanks for coming on, mate.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, appreciate the time.
Yeah.
I suppose we'll get right into it. Obviously, you're the kit man for the first team,
Yeah,
Crystal
one off.
Palace.
Yeah, yeah.
One of, yeah. How does that work, actually? So,
But there's three of us in the department. So you have myself, who's the assistant
yeah,
kit man, and then you have Phil, who's the kit manager,
yeah,
and then we have Spencer, who's head of laundry.
yeah.
Yeah, who's been here a long time.
Big job.
Yeah, it's a big job. Without him, everything's dirty the next day, nothing
Yeah,
gets
yeah.
done. So yeah, we all play an important role and all help each other out. And yeah.
So, what's your specific role, I suppose, like in a general term?
So me and Phil will work closely together. We sort of split the responsibilities. So I suppose my main responsibility is getting the shirts ready for games.
Yeah,
So printing the names, the numbers, the sleeve patches, getting all that stuff ready for a match day, and then staff kit day
yeah,
to day.
yeah, of course.
While Phil handles the player stuff. Um, Me and Phil will both do every game, so it's just sort of getting everything in when we get to games, home and away, getting everything set up, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, nice. So, so one thing I actually was curious. Obviously, I've known you for a while, but
Mm.
how did you actually become a kit man? Like, how did you get into the role?
It's funny because every kitman I think has a different story of
Really?
how they become a kitman
Oh,
because
okay.
there's no university course for it. There's no
Yeah.
class you go to become a kitman. It's literally something that you fall into. So myself, I was at Bromley's Academy. Uh, once I left school. And
Is that playing?
whilst
Sorry.
yes, I
Yeah.
was playing,
Cool.
yeah. So I think there was 50 of us. I was part of the first intake there when they went as a full-time academy, and it it was sort of just something that I didn't want to do A levels. I didn't want to stay at school, and that
Yeah.
opportunity come up. So I thought, you know what, I can play football every day. I love football, and I decided to go into that. And whilst doing that, I was doing jobs for the first team. So I was
Yeah.
going to games, getting balls out of the stands, getting balls out of the car park. And from then I started doing like I was a stat man before I was a kit
Oh,
man.
what, like analysis?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
sit on the bench with my notepad at all the first team games,
Nice.
tick off shots, crosses, corners, do everything like that. And then once I finished my 2-year scholarship, they said, "Look, we need a kit man. Do you fancy doing it?" I said, "Absolutely."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. And then that's how you got into Palace. Or was that?
Yeah. So whilst I was at Bromley doing the kit, the assistant manager, Mark Hammond,
Yeah.
who was the academy director as well, knew Danny Young, who has only just left, who
Yeah.
you know, Danny,
Yeah. Who don't know Danny?
yeah, who was he was the kit manager here at the time, and he said, "Look, I'm going to speak to him, get you to do a day down there, just to see how a Premier League club does it,
Yeah.
how you can take things from there and
What's
bring
the
them back
difference?
here."
Yeah.
Yeah. So I done the day there, and then that was in October. I think it was 2018, maybe 17, 18, and then on Christmas Eve so we was training at Bromley, and I got a text from Hamo saying that it was a forwarded message from Danny saying that
Yeah.
our academy kitman's leaving. Does your lad fancy doing it? And I remember I said to him, yeah. I phoned him, spoke to him, and he said, look, like there's a job going.
Yeah. Yeah. Jumped at
He
it.
said, I'm not going to stop you going. He knew I was a Palace fan as
Yeah.
well. Um, and then yeah, I started in January.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. And
Yeah.
that's how the rest is history. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I met you. That's
Yeah.
how I started working here. Yeah. So yeah, yeah,
Nice, mate. That's how you get into it.
yeah. It's been
So
4.5 years. Yeah,
it's like you said, you can't want to be a kit man and think, right, let me do this qualification and
no,
that'll get my way in there.
no.
It's almost being in the right time, right place, who you
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
and working your way in.
Yeah.
Nice. So let's go through like a week of what a kit man does really, but start with training. So let's say a normal training day, what's your day looking like?
So it differs from sort of day to day depending on when the game is really when the next game is.
Yeah. So let's say there's a game on Saturday and it's the Monday. No game in the week.
So start on coming on the Monday, cleaning the boots from the game. That's the first thing I do.
Yeah.
Getting them back round, getting the repacking the kit that Spencer's washed on the Sunday. Just basically the Monday is getting everything back round, but then you've also got to worry about training, so sorting out the training, and then just thinking about the next Saturday.
Yeah, yeah. And then I suppose is that day sort of mirrored for the rest most of the week, or does
Yeah,
it change?
yeah. So if we play on a Tuesday, which isn't too common in the Premier League, as much as it is in the Championship,
Yeah,
we'll be in on the Sunday, in on the Monday, and then especially if we're playing away, we'll travel sometimes on the Monday, so it can be a really quick turnaround.
yeah,
But
yeah. Busy.
yeah, busy it can be, but usually Saturday to Saturday, it's not too bad.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, and then as the week sort of goes on, it's more focused on the game as opposed to training.
yeah,
Um, yeah, it's just a case of getting everything back round and getting everything redone again. That same cycle every week, just
yeah.
getting ready for the games.
So let's say, I mean, sometimes the boys will have double sessions. Um, like when they do, is that so they have? I'm guessing they have multiple training kits.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So each player will have two sets through the season at least.
yeah,
So whilst they're out in their first session, we'll get their second kit ready in the change room for them.
yeah,
So they'll come in, they might shower, they might not shower. Usually the goalies are covered in mud, so
yeah.
so
They
they'll
got to.
have to shower. Get into their second set, and then they'll have they'll have lunch and just having a bit of chill time, getting ready for that second session, which is usually a lot lighter.
Yeah,
It's usually shape or something or the other like that.
bit more tactical maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
cool. And also, I was wondering, like, so when you're, let's say, in the change rooms, do they obviously you're responsible for the kit, but all the like, let's say, the protein powders, the chewing gum, stuff like that, is that the kit man's your responsibility as well?
No, so that falls under the sports
Oh,
science
okay.
responsibility.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
on a match day, me and Phil will be the first ones in the changing room.
yeah,
But then there'll be an early group of staff. So like the sports scientist is usually the third man through the door. So he's setting up the fridge, he's setting up all the shakes, the chewing gums,
yeah,
all
yeah,
the different supplements that any player could want. And they know, like us, we know who has what boots and
yeah,
what socks. They know who has what supplements, who has what before a game, after a game, during a game. So
yeah.
that's their responsibility.
So every little bit is just tailored for the individual
Yeah, yeah. It
training and
just
match day.
yeah, yeah. So they literally only have to think about their performance and performing in training and the game. They don't have to worry about have I packed the right boots? Have I got my protein shake? It's all done for them.
Everything, yeah,
Yeah.
nice. So that's match day, but so like pre-season tour, Palace just went to where was it?
America, yeah,
America, yeah.
Chicago and Detroit. Yeah.
Nice. So does that are you traveling with the team out there? Have you got to get out there early to set stuff up? Of
No,
how does that
so
work?
so we'll travel with the team. So me and Phil will get to the airport a few hours before the flight, check all the bags in. So we'll have all the kit bags. It's usually around 70 or 80 bags
Yeah,
because
what
that'll be not just us kit. It's medical, sports science. It's everything, and then
just for two people to look after?
just for us
Yeah,
to yeah.
wow.
So we'll Junior, the ladies kit man took us. I think we left the training ground at about 5 o'clock in the morning to get to Heathrow, and then it's tagging all the bags, loading all the bags, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So, but then once that's done, we'll travel with the team, um, unload everything the other side, get that to the hotel, and then it's not a case of because everything's done before you go.
yeah.
It's not a case of getting out there and quickly getting everything ready and it's there done. It's
The
literally
prep's
just
done.
out the bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, the prep's done. That's the most important bit about it.
Yeah, yeah, cool. So with that, the players, like you said, on the match day, everything's geared up. They've got, their boots, their supplements. Is it the same? Let's say I'm traveling away tomorrow. We're going on tour to USA. Do I need to actually bring anything myself?
So
Really?
not really.
No?
So as long as you've got your wash bag and maybe some stuff to chill around in,
Yeah,
you don't have to worry about kit or boots or trainers, flip flops.
yeah,
We've got everything there.
yeah. So even like the day, let's say the day off, players get. Do you provide them kit as well for that? Not just the training and gym.
Yeah, so they'll have for the flight, do you mean?
The flights, and let's say they're just like lounging about the hotel.
Yeah, so the flight, the players will travel in a travel kit, what they would
Yeah,
travel to in a game, which is given to them at the start of the season. So we don't watch that, or they will turn up i- on a match day in their stuff and go home in that and watch it themselves.
yeah, yeah,
But then we'll have kit there if they will have spare stuff. So if anyone just wants a t-shirt or something,
Yeah, yeah.
they
You got
we've
ready
got
for
it.
'em.
Yeah,
Yeah, and a lot of people. Another thing wanted to mention: a lot of people don't realise that pretty much all footballers will get pants given to them, won't they? Like,
yeah,
as in, they won't wear their own.
yeah,
They wear like sloggies, won't they?
yeah. So they'll either wear sloggies or they wear cycling shorts, whatever they
Yeah,
prefer.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny 'cause no one seems to like realise that, do they?
No, I don't know if many people think about it, but
No, yeah,
it's something that we have to think about who has what sort of pants and
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that.
Is it one size or do you just?
Yeah, one size, yeah.
Yeah,
But
one size for everyone. So you've
yeah,
got bigger. Some, let's say, I don't know, who's a tall. Got someone who's 6'5" wearing the same as a little like.
yeah. But it's some players will have a preference of what they wear.
Yeah.
So
Suppose if they
yeah,
you can if they ask, you can always change,
yeah,
can't you? Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, nice. One thing I wanted to speak about your job, yeah. So Kitman, you said there's two, three of you. What do you say for your particular job is the most challenging part? Would you say being a kitman? Obviously, you've named quite a few things that like loading 80 bags with two people, but
The most challenging part is probably when there is a quick turnaround, especially when it's in a different kit as well.
is that games wise? You mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
on a match day, yeah. Training is usually we've done it enough times now where there's a routine and we know the routine
yeah,
at the back of our hands, so that's easy enough. But I'd say if we have, so we got the Carabao Cup coming up in a few weeks.
yeah,
We'll play. I think it's the week we play Brentford, so we'll play away at Brentford on a Saturday,
yeah,
and then we could be at Plymouth away on on the Tuesday night. So it'd be getting back on a Saturday, starting a wash for Spencer, coming in Sunday morning, getting the boots back round because we still got to train Sunday, Monday,
yeah,
but then also doing what we do in a week in 2 or 3 days.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
probably the most challenging
It
part of the
sounds
job.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you come back on the Saturday and you've got to then that same night you'd start the wash for
Yeah,
obviously spent.
when we get back, unload the van, get the dirty skips, start putting a wash on for Spencer, just to give him a head start, but it
Yeah,
also gives us a head start as well. And then Sunday morning back at it. You've got 2 days just to get everything done.
yeah, yeah. So it's just
Yeah.
for what are your hours looking like there?
7. I'm in at 7 every day, so
Yeah.
in at 7, and then probably if we're gone by 6, we've done well.
Okay, so it's a healthy day.
Yeah, yeah,
Healthy day, mate. Yeah.
yeah,
So in terms of the kit, you said they get two training kits.
yeah.
Generally, you can obviously just keep switching them.
Mm.
Match day, do they get a certain amount of match day tops?
So they get free shirts a season,
Yeah. Okay.
players. Yeah, and then if they want to swap or they want to take some, they do have to after the third shirt they do have to pay for them.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
So you're right with them swapping, but it's
yeah,
still going to come out there free shirts,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
after that, if they have to pay for them.
yeah,
Okay. Nice. So you might see players only swapping once or twice, maybe.
yeah, yeah. There's a few that don't swap at all.
Yeah.
Um, but like last season, our most popular player, Wilfried Zaha, would lose all his shirts every game
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
everyone wanted his shirt.
Yeah. And people don't realise that pretty much all of them then after like you said, after the third, they're all coming out his pocket.
Yeah,
So but
yeah.
nice, mate, nice. So you're right with that, giving away shirts. It affects the player really, but do you secretly get the ump with it or not?
No, I don't
No.
because I understand it.
Oh,
I
okay, yeah.
completely understand it
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's. I mean, if you're Wilfried Zaha and you're swapping a shirt with Harry Kane,
Yeah.
you're getting something back from
Yeah, I
it.
suppose,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? It's not
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
not just losing a shirt but it's the job at the end of the day,
Yeah.
printing the shirts and it is what it is.
Yeah, yeah. And if he's giving it to fans as well, he's making someone's day,
Yeah,
year.
exactly.
So
If you're giving a little kid that's travelled to Burnley away and you see a player giving them their shirt, I
yeah,
know that that's a massive thing for that kid.
yeah, yeah. So that's the shirt, match day shirts. In terms of like gym gear, so like trainers, stuff like that. Do they obviously I know whoever they're sponsored by, different companies, they'll probably get given their trainers. But then is that your responsibility, the trainers, shin pads, stuff
Yeah,
like that?
yeah. So trainers, shin pads, flip flops. They'll all not as much flip flops, but trainers and shin pads. They'll provide with us, and then it's our responsibility to get them from game to from game to game.
Yeah.
We don't actually travel with their trainers; they just stay at the training ground.
Oh, okay.
Um,
What do they travel with?
so they'll travel in like their own
Oh,
sort of
not
trainers.
their
So they
gym trainers. Yeah.
yeah, so they'll have runners or gym trainers
Yeah,
that
yeah.
they'll use in the gym, and then they'll travel in their own trainers on a match day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nice. So they're well looked after.
yeah,
Well looked
yeah.
after. So you said it was yourself and Phil. And you two, I can't remember if you said, were they similar roles? Did you?
Yeah, so it's sort of the responsibilities are sort of split down the middle.
Yeah,
Phil will cover. So now where Phil has become the kit manager, he'll cover sort of more of the admin stuff, more of the. He'll let me know things that are going on.
yeah.
Um, but it's we've got a big list of everything that needs to be packed for a match day.
Okay.
And then training days we'll just sort of make sure everything gets done.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, we have things that we do. So I'll always do the shirts. Phil will always do the players bundles.
yeah. You got in a routine of
Yeah,
doing who does what and
yeah.
understanding that. Yeah,
They're little things like the bibs for a game.
yeah,
Like it might be, oh, I've done the bibs. Phil, oh, brilliant.
yeah,
Or
yeah.
he'll say to me, I've done this. Or
Just helping each
yeah,
other out. Yeah,
yeah,
like
just
you're doing
making
any job.
yeah, just ticking things off the list.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then you also sort out the staff kit as well.
yeah. So the staff will have around about 15 staff that will travel to a game,
Yeah,
not including myself and Phil. Um,
so that's basically another squad.
yeah, yeah. So they'll need kit, they'll need their boots.
Yeah,
Coaches like to have their trainers, flip flops.
just no supplements for them.
No, no
Yeah.
supplements, no protein shakes.
No.
No.
No, okay, nice. We'll talk. Go on, I'll talk about. You're a Palace fan, am I right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So we'll talk about some of our your favourite Palace kits. Yeah, some of mine as well, maybe.
that's a tough one.
If we go like match day home kit, we'll go your top two. So,
Two.
so I've got my top one. I think.
Yeah,
I think it's last year's one.
I was going to say last
Yeah,
season's.
last season. So
Yeah,
to be fair, the away kit that could go up there as well.
yeah,
They're two of my favourite. I think.
yeah. We had some really nice kits last year. Even the third kit, the black one,
Yeah, yeah,
was really
yeah.
nice.
Oh, that's the one I'm on about. What was the way was the white one?
Yeah, the away
Oh,
one was
okay,
the
yeah.
white one. Yeah,
Okay, got ya. So when did you start supporting Palace young?
yeah. Through my dad, I didn't have a choice really.
Yeah,
So my dad's massive Palace fan. He's
yeah.
probably the biggest reason why I like football.
Your dad.
Yeah,
Same as a lot of kids, innit?
yeah.
Yeah,
So my dad, but he played what is now the Isthmian South Isthmian Prem
yeah,
level. So Ryman Prem.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but I was always a Palace fan since he was a kid.
Do you remember your first? Did you buy the kits when you were young? Did you have a lot of kits or not?
Yeah, so I remember the first game of the season. Every season, I'd get the new kit.
Yeah,
If we was at home, or the second game if we played away first.
yeah, yeah. Do
But yeah, I'd
you
get the
remember your
kit. I'd
first
get
one or
this.
not? Or one of the first?
I remember getting it weren't a kit. I remember getting the tracksuit that Ian Dowie used to wear,
Yeah.
tax line. But
Nice.
instead of ID, it had TD. It had my
Yeah.
initials. I remember that. Um,
Just buzzing when it comes.
yeah, I remember. I remember getting. Yeah, I remember getting the kits on the first game of the season. Just
Yeah.
going up. My
Little.
dad giving me the money. Right, don't just get. Who are you getting on the back? Okay,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
right, cool.
Tradition, yeah.
Yeah,
Nice. I remember, to be fair, because I've been at Palace since I was 8.
yeah,
I remember this, been through so many kits. But do you remember it was like a uh yellow and blue like away. It was yellow, shiny yellow with like blue. Do you remember it was away kit probably about 2013? It might,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. The
Is it the
season we
one we
got
went up?
promoted.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah. That's one kit that just stands out. That's probably one of my favourites up there.
yeah,
I feel like if you watch let's say you watch a Palace team and they've had an unbelievable season,
yeah.
that kit is now one of your favourite kits. Do you know what
Yeah,
I mean? It
it's
makes
true.
the
Yeah, but then so going back to what my favourite kit would be, I'd
yeah.
say the year we was in administration and
Really?
we stayed up on
Oh,
the
so
last day
that ruins my
is
theory then.
yeah. But that was the kit that come to my mind with the white collar and the thin stripes.
Yeah,
That stood out for me as because I think that was the first season where I properly. So I was 10 years old, so I
yeah, yeah,
properly got into Palace and.
yeah.
Before that, I would go to games. My dad would take me to games, and he'd always have a go at me. I'd just be looking around like that, not watching
Not
the
paying
game.
attention. Yeah,
No, but then 2009, 2010 is when I really got into it.
yeah.
I really started supporting Palace.
Nice.
Yeah, so that kit stands out for me.
Yeah, yeah. What about let's go away from Palace. Is there any like other kits, or are you not really interested in?
Um,
Suppose if you're a diehard Palace, is there any like? Let's talk about Prem this year. What kits are you liking?
Prem this year, I watched the Community Shield the other day, and I really like Arsenal's new kit.
Yeah, with the gold Adidas
Yeah,
stripes. Yeah, they're
yeah.
lovely.
But
Yeah, I like that.
there are some rascal kits
Oh,
going around
yeah,
now. It seems like the 90s are very but much back in at the
yeah.
moment.
United and Chelsea sort of gone that way, haven't they?
A
A
little
little
bit,
bit.
yeah. But I like the Chelsea's one with no sponsor.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. They still haven't got one, have they?
nah,
Feel like a sponsor can make or break a kit, can't it?
it can do. If it goes well with a kit,
Yeah,
then
it's made it.
it's made it.
Yeah, if it
Um,
don't,
but sometimes you see some kits that are just
yeah, no. Let's not name them. Yeah,
nah.
there's a few. Yeah, there's a few. I'm trying to think. Have Palace released all three kits?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
our third kit was released. So what's it, Wednesday today? On the Monday, it
yeah.
was released, and it's gone down really well. I think
Black.
we've got three really good kits again this year.
Yeah.
That's just not me being biased,
No,
but
yeah. I agree. Actually, I do like them.
that's I really think that we've done well again this year.
Yeah,
After having three good kits last year, I think we've produced again.
yeah. So the third one is the one that's just been released. That's the black one, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I did like that. I see
with
that.
the graffiti sort of style
Yeah, yeah.
and the red
A
and blue
little bit,
collar.
like similar, a little bit to last year's black one with the
Yeah,
with the graffiti, I suppose.
yeah, a little bit.
But
Yeah,
yeah, no, they're lovely. What so obviously being a Palace fan, you when you done the under 18s first, didn't you?
yeah. So I was doing the under 18s and the under 21s or 23s back then.
Yeah.
Um, I'd done that for 2.5 years.
Do
Yeah,
you know what year you started that? Because
January 2019, I
yeah,
think.
so that would have been the year I got started my injury started
Yeah,
playing up again. Yeah, because you've never
yeah,
actually. I remember you obviously you were my kit man
yeah,
for
yeah,
the under
yeah.
21s, but you never see me play.
Never see you play.
No, mate.
It's one of my biggest regrets. I never see great Lewis Graham
I
play.
know. No, it's weird, isn't it? How you've
Just
been
heard
here for like
stories. I
yeah,
know, 4.5 years I've been here.
haven't seen me play. I know.
Mm.
Well, who's told you stories then?
No,
No.
I won't name names.
Yeah, yeah. So and what I was going to say, so you've done the 18s and 21s sort of for what 2.5 years you said,
Yeah.
and then you how did it come about that you went up to the first team?
So the lad who was in my role that I'm doing now,
Yeah,
Harry,
yeah,
who, funny enough, we used to play football together
yeah.
when we was kids. He left to go to MK Dons
Okay.
as their kit manager.
Oh, that's the top dog.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So when he left, I remember Danny called me over for a meeting and said, look, Harry's leaving. There's a spot opened up.
yeah.
If you want it, it's yours. And yeah,
No
absolutely.
thinking about that one.
Nah,
No.
nah, not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was brilliant because it was almost like all the hard work sort of paid off.
Long hours with the 18s and
Yeah,
21s, switching between the
doing
two.
doing 2 games a week with the 18s and 21s,
Yeah,
23s, going to be at Hull on a Saturday. So we'd travel on a Friday, play on a Saturday,
yeah, yeah.
come back, go to Sheffield on a Sunday, play the game Monday, and then come back just 4 days just away from home. Loved
Oh,
it.
mate.
So
Yeah, yeah.
it wasn't. I think if you don't love it,
Oh,
being a
you
kit
couldn't.
man, you can't do it.
No way. It takes it's your whole life. Like
Yeah.
you said, the hours,
Mm.
7 till 6. I think when you were my kit man, you were doing longer hours than that as well. I
I
remember.
was doing around that. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was similar,
yeah,
but you have to love it. You
yeah.
have
You
to
have to love
breathe
football. You have to love the
football.
club. It's very common that the kit man is like a die-hard fan as well.
Yeah,
Pretty
yeah,
much at most clubs I've heard, anyway.
yeah,
So, like you
yeah,
said, you do have to love it.
yeah.
So, what was when you first being a Palace fan when you first stepped up to the first team? Must have been a bit like I don't know if it's surreal, bit like surreal is the right word, I think, or a bit not starstruck, but you've watched these men, sorry, watched these
Yeah,
men play on the pitch for years,
I know what you mean.
supporting them, and now you're there cleaning their
Yeah,
kit, cleaning their boots.
yeah. So I was around them when I was working here because I was based over at their
Oh, okay.
first team training ground. So I was in and around them, but I'd see maybe a couple of them every day,
Yeah,
if that developed like a relationship, me
yeah, yeah,
saying hello morning,
yeah,
they knew
yeah,
your name, but the majority you didn't see, you didn't speak to.
yeah,
So
yeah,
then when you're then sort of their kit man, it can be a little bit daunting because
yeah,
you don't want to mess up. You don't
yeah.
want,
Especially early on, it's normal,
yeah.
isn't it?
And the first manager I had was Patrick Vieira as well.
Yeah,
So he was he was brilliant, but he was someone that you didn't want to get anything wrong or have something go wrong because
yeah,
he was
yeah,
such an intimidating figure. Um, that it was it was a little bit daunting. Yeah,
yeah. Nice, but I think it's good to have that in a job, and it's also good to be like working with such. He's a legend, isn't
yeah,
he? Yeah,
yeah,
so. That's pretty. It's a good story. It's a good story when you look when you're saying it back now, and it's like you're a boy, you're a childhood fan of Crystal Palace, and now you've gone all the way up really with the 18s, 23s to the first team now.
yeah,
It's a good story, mate.
yeah. No, I am honestly very very lucky to be where I am. If I'd have gone and done A levels instead of going to Bromley, I wouldn't be sat here now.
Yeah, yeah. Thank God you didn't.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Ted, thanks for coming on, mate. Appreciate
Thanks
your
for having
time.
me. It's been
Yeah,
brilliant.
hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah,
brilliant. Yeah,
I'm sure I'll see you about. But yeah,
yeah,
cheers.
absolutely.
Nice one.
Nice one.
Yes, guys, thanks for watching this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, could you please follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and subscribe to our YouTube channel? It massively helps us out.